What up, Mavericks? It's me, Uma, here, back with another edition of Mavs Chat, and in today's video, we have a special guest.
Hey y'all, Jules Davis, Student Development Specialist here at the Fallout Student Leadership Center.
And in today's video, we're going to be talking to you guys about our experience in Atlanta at the National Museum for Civil and Human Rights. So, first up, how was your experience going to the museum? How did you feel? What did you see? Talk to us about it.
Absolutely. So we walk in, and it was in that moment that I feel like I truly stepped into history. For so much of my life growing up, I didn't hear the experience, the Black experience, from Black voices. And so being able to walk through and see the good and the bad, the ups and the downs, the pretty and the ugly, but hear it from the voices of the people who were experiencing it, that was so impactful to me. And being able to walk through that with other students, and also I got to talk with some individuals who are older, some gray-haired, some seasoned vets in this life thing, and they were telling me that they were living when this was happening. And so I got to have some side conversations and ask, what was this like for you? How did you experience this? What was the impact on you? And so I got to be able to see what was happening when I wasn't even born. Then I got to see what was happening during the time I was coming into the world, and then I got to see where we are now. And so being able to see that full history was really impactful, and also was something that I'll keep with me for a good long time.
Yeah, same. I know for me personally, being able to see the past, the present, and the future, it really opened my eyes to so much that I thought I knew about Black History Month, but I really didn't. So being able to see firsthand and get those experiences and see all of our history on the walls around us, it was really impactful for me, definitely. I saw a lot of little kids at the museum. Why do you think it's important that these schools are taking their children on field trips to visit museums like these?
Yeah, because if it is that we can let our kids into the history and show them, if they are Black, show them what it is that they come from, where it is that they come from. Because for many of our kids, they come from people who come from people who came from people who probably didn't actually want to be here.
Yeah.
But they were planted, and they grew where they were planted. And they, in the words of Cardi B, were the rose that grew from the concrete.
Yep.
And so that is who they come from. And so often we are told the story that Blackness begins at slavery, when in reality it began much before then. And even during slavery, there is some personality and there's some character, and there are real people who move through this. And so for them to be able to see who it is that they are and who it is that they come from, they can then see who it is that they can be in the future. And be able to rightly understand their history, and also to be able to speak about those. And then for individuals who aren't Black, they're able to see, oh snap, maybe what it is that I have been taught ain't all that true, right?
Yeah.
Or there's a part of the story that's missing, a very important and big part of the story that's missing. And so that is why I think that by informing our young people, and our kids and our young adults about what it is that's happened, that we are able to move forward in the times that we're in now.
Yeah, I definitely feel like the youth definitely needs to know all of their history, because in today's society it's often erased.
Well, something that you were telling me before we even had the interview was one of the most important and impactful pieces was when you were able to be at the lunch counter.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that experience for you?
Yeah, at the museum there are a lot of interactive experiences, and one of them, we were sitting at a counter and you're supposed to close your eyes and put on these headphones, and they're noise canceling, and then you hear people saying, like,
some of the noises from the sit-ins.
Yes, noise from the sit-ins. You hear people yelling like racial slurs at you. Like, you just hear the aggression that people had towards people that were just fighting for their rights. And in that moment, you're instantly transported back in time, and you really feel what it was like to be one of those people fighting for our rights. So I think it's really important that they have, especially those interactive parts of the exhibit, because you really get to feel sort of firsthand what it was like in that time.
It's like part of the story that we are missing is that verbal element, right? Like, what was it like to truly be there? We read it in black and white on pages in history books, but for many of us that has been pretty dry, right? We're able to close the book and then just move on. But what we find, or what I found, is that when I put the headphones on, I put my hands on the table, and I could feel the reverberations of the table, and I can also hear what it was that was being said to the people who were participating in the sit-ins. I was, like you said, I was there. And then I walked away without having that memory. And so I think the auditory element of these interactive experiences was unparalleled in my education growing up.
Yeah, it was a really good experience. I had never experienced anything like that, and I feel like it was very informative, and it really gives you a really good experience, because it's one thing to just read about it, but then literally feeling like you're in that moment. It's just something totally different and totally surreal. I would say. So that was one of the many places that we went during our trip in Atlanta for spring break. I had an amazing time. I know you had an amazing time. What are some events that you're looking forward to in this upcoming year at UTA?
Yeah, so Atlanta, as you said, was amazing, and bringing it back to UTA, we also have a whole lot of things that we're doing here, even in the midst of a pandemic. And so, virtual opportunity this week, February 12th, there is a black hair panel that I get to be a part of, and just talking about what it is that we be doing with our hair. And so we'll send you the link to that. And as well, in April, we're having a story sharing event. It's called UTA Monologues. Very excited about it. Freshman Leaders on Campus is putting it on, but it is for the entire campus. An opportunity for us to be able to hear what it was and what it has been like for 2020, 2021 for those of us who are sharing this UTA experience. And so I'm very excited to be able to host and be one of the people who host the event, and also be one of the people to be able to hear what happens at Bluebonnet Auditorium on Wednesday, April 14th.
I'm also super excited for UTA Monologues because I myself will be submitting a story, so make sure you guys tune in April 14th at Bluebonnet for the event. All right, thank you so much, Julian, for sitting and having this conversation with me and talking and reliving our experiences in Atlanta.
Yo, and thank you for letting me be here. I've had a wonderful time being able to relive it with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time out. And thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to watch next week's video for more.